recording.
All right. Hello.
I'm very excited it's St. Patrick's Day. Yay.
Me too. I'm excited we're having the girls from EEK.
Yes.
Yes.
That's good. We needed like, something Britishy, Irish at St. Patrick's Day. We need to have we needed to have like a European flair.
I like it. We didn't. I should have had some Irish whiskey. Didn't think.
Oh no, what do you got?
I'm doing my regular Knob Creek bourbon.
Okay.
The regular. It's a little dark.
I went Jameson cold brew.
Nice choice.
Jameson whiskey mixed with coffee. And so what I did was I made an Irish coffee. Ta-da!
Nice. Wow.
Cold brew Irish.
Should have done Bailey's or something.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
You
Everybody
won't be
Bailey's
mixing.
now.
Right. I bet you won't be mixing anything peach in. Any kind of peach,
no peach
with that.
No Samora, no peach, no berry. Nope, we're good.
That was such a great picture that you got, that screenshot.
Face.
And you with your hands over your ears, like you couldn't hear it one more time.
No, the first time you told me I almost threw up. Second time I swallowed it. The third time I was just like, oh no. All right,
and he was so nice. He tried to be so.
Didn't he say it's nice to be creative? Like that's good
nice
to be adventurous. Yeah.
Adventurous. Yes.
Good man. So our guests are in the green room, and
okay.
We should note that this time around, like we had the girls from EEK. We had just Lucy last time, but now we've got Lucy and her wife Mandy. So we're gonna let them in. I'm excited.
I am so excited.
Hi. There you are.
Hey.
There you are.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, there's your other half.
I'm just trying to get the laptop sitting.
You have green lights going there.
Got a galaxy going on. Look.
Oh
yeah,
man, you guys are the best.
Yeah, man.
I like that.
Perfect for St. Patrick's.
If you can't be in the galaxy on a Wednesday, when the hell can you be in the galaxy?
Denise, what's up?
Turn up the Birmingham accent. I love it.
Just for you.
Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you.
You too. It's nice to see you in. Well, even though it's a computer flesh, it's still the flesh.
I feel like I know you from Facebook. So and from Denise telling me so much about you, and I watch your videos. Love your music. Love your harmonies and everything about what you do.
Oh,
stuff. It's good stuff. What are you guys drinking?
It's good stuff.
I'm not drinking this evening.
You're on meds, and you've got work. You've got work tomorrow. Mandy, no.
Over this whole lockdown, I've had 3 beers, and I don't drink, so that's quite a big.
Not the drinking type.
I was concerned at one point. She was like, "Let's go and get some beer," and I'm like, "Oh my god, let's just capitalize on this immediately." And she came out with a box of 10 beers. I was like, "Wow!"
Corona as well.
We're drinking. She's got the Knob Creek maple whiskey.
Oh, see, I want to be drinking.
Yes.
So I had this Jameson cold brew, and I looked up how to make an Irish iced coffee.
Nice.
Ta-da.
Nice.
I know. Sorry, I have to do this.
I've had a nice coffee today, but not the Irish kind. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hooray.
I'll be honest with you. I tested it out all morning. wanted to get it right.
Nice
got to get it right.
Jesus Christ, I got to take a drunken shower. So yes, we have the lovely ladies from EEK, and I know JD is so excited. I'm just gonna let her hit you with a barrage of questions because I know everything about you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the way home tonight, Denise was telling me to go, what about questions? And I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to ask them this. I can't wait to ask them that. So I wanted to ask Lucy the last time she was on the show, but I didn't get a chance to, how it is for you girls being in a relationship and in a band together. Like, how does that work? Because it could be really awesome, and sometimes it could be
She's talking from experience.
The thing is, so from our perspective, Mand and I write all the songs as well. So, 5-piece band, but Mand and I are the songwriters. So, we'll occasionally, and in a songwriting scenario, we'll never come to blows, but we'll have disagreements on, because our styles are quite different. In sort of writing, Mandy's you've got a back catalogue of hundreds of songs, haven't you? So Mandy was in an indie band in the 90s, low slung guitar, leather trousers and a bra.
No shoes.
Yeah. But yeah, so her style and my style complement each other very much, but the writing side of things, I think, can sometimes, be a bit of a challenge for us, can't it?
Sometimes, like, you don't because you don't play an instrument. She's like, well, make it a bit more like this.
Yeah,
I don't know. So sometimes it's a bit like that. But
absolutely, I find it quite frustrating because I play bass. Used to play double bass when I was younger, but I've never actually played an instrument as an adult. To kind of help me songwrite. So it's quite a frustration for me. So we've never fallen out. We've always found, a happy place, and songs have kind of evolved.
Sometimes we have a bit of a
rehearsals can be a bit but that's just 5 women in a room together.
We just end up drinking tea and eating cake.
Yeah.
So.
But I think 5 women in a room together there'll always be, moments. And Mand, you'll sometimes get a bit lost in your playing, won't you? And then you and Karen, particularly on drums. Karen's got the band for the signals to change and stuff, and Mand's just like, oh, sorry, I was just playing. Little daydreamer in the corner.
So here's what I found.
I thought that would be Ruth, by the way. I thought
yeah, no, that is Ruth. Yeah, generally as well.
Well, it's great that that you're all women and you get along, because sometimes it's a little difficult. I found you have to pick the right women to work with. Otherwise, people are fighting for the spotlight, or it becomes a little competitive. But I had the relationship situation, band situation as well, and I found that it could be amazing to be on stage with the person that you're with and share that experience together of being on stage and everything that comes with. And share that with your person, but it's also hard because when you're at rehearsal, like you just mentioned rehearsal, if the criticism comes from your partner, it stings a little more or something. I don't know. It's a little more like, I found that I was a little more sensitive to that. And so anyway, it could be great. Like I said, it could be great, and it could be sometimes detrimental to one of the two things, either the music or the relationship. So that's why I was just
on that. I think I'm probably the one that's most sensitive out of the two of us. So I wear my heart on my sleeve a little bit more about it. So a man might say, oh, maybe change that word, or you're not singing that quite right, let's just go through it again. And I'm the one that might be a bit like, what? I was singing completely fine. You don't know what you're doing. Play guitar and shut up.
Or if we've had an argument before rehearsal,
you can tell. Yeah, it's like, let's just rehearse and get home and everything's fine. And then the other girls are kind of like, everything all right? We're like, yeah, it's fine, thank you.
Though, isn't it?
Always. And I think the great thing is, and you just said that, JD, is we are so lucky, and we count our lucky stars that the 3 girls we're in a band
we were
with
all friends first
are just the best women. And we've all got such a great friendship, and there's never anything that, we've been through deaths, we've been through loss, we've been through love, we've been through laughs, cakes, we've been through some awful gigs, we've been through some, all these experiences, we've had babies together, we had children at the same time, and So we've had all these
They'd
experiences.
be the ones you'd pull up onto the raft, not the ones you'd push away and let them down. No.
I can't hold on, Rose. No, bye.
Trying to push them up.
Nothing like a good Titanic reference, you know?
You definitely share the door with them, 100%.
Yes, there was room on that door for him. Why didn't you?
Oh, there so was.
I will go to the grave wondering that. Yep.
What a cowbag.
Yeah.
Denise, can you understand me, by the way?
Say that again.
Can you understand her, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not having any trouble unless she's just nodding and pretending.
I'm just gonna
Let me
drink.
understand.
No, I'm kidding. I can't. I can't.
Just about. Yes,
No,
really.
it's
I
funny
think-
though. You guys mentioned you and Danielle. Your kids are really close in age.
Yeah, yeah. So
And
Martha
I-
was born in the July, and then Evie was born the following March. So there's literally 8 months, 7-8 months between them.
Honestly,
Wow.
I remember that your album launch party, and they were so adorable. Like they were
Yeah.
so excited for you, both of them, that I was just like, I'm going to interview the girls.
Yeah.
And I
They
did.
are.
I remember interviewing Evie and Martha together, and it was just like great. But they're
And we called them our little eaklings. They were little eaklings.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Eaklings.
We
Yeah.
had t-shirts.
We had t-shirts made for them with little ducks on, and they were little eaklings.
We had the geek
Oh,
ones
so
and the
cute.
freak ones. And
Yeah.
And so Martha, and I don't know this for a fact, but Martha is more musically inclined, right? Is Evie at all or no?
I don't think so. I think Josie, Danielle and Joel's youngest, is more, she's got a little bit more music behind her, but Evie's not really ever taken to it. In fact, there is a lovely story. Martha's going to college in September. Get your breath, Denise. I know. She's off to college to study music and music technology
Wow.
and production. And she had to do an assessment day online, a Zoom day. And the assessors at the end did a little interview with her and said, there were 5 of them, I think, in their breakout room. And they said, okay, we're going to go around the room and I want you to talk about who your biggest influences are in music and, why you want to do music. So they went through all of them, got to Martha, and she said, my biggest influences are my mom's.
Oh, that is
Wow.
so sweet.
I know. And
Wow.
others were like Billie Eilish and, Sia and blah, blah, blah. And she was just like, no, my
Right.
mom's, they've just taught me everything. And one taught me to play guitar.
And the ukulele.
I know.
Wow.
And
I
it's
remember those
lovely.
videos when she was just a tot. She was
Yeah.
playing ukulele, and now she's like making her own. She was on the Voice for Kids.
The Voice Kids. Yeah.
And then the videos that she makes, whether it's her own or somebody else's song, I mean, she's really talented.
It's really easy to write with as well. Like on a couple of occasions, me and Martha have sat down and written songs, and she's really, really easy. Out of everyone that I've written with,
Lucy's face.
Here we go. That's what I meant. No.
Is this what you're talking about,
That's
JD?
what I was talking about.
No, she is. Martha can write a killer hook. Like she's got it. There's something she's got that she'll just get it in her
Wow.
head, and she can just write something that is just amazing, isn't she? She's quite.
a sense of melody.
Yeah.
On, So
She's brilliant.
if us playing music all our lives from the start up to now as this point, and the reason is, if it was the reason that to get Martha where she is and what she does, then
She played Elfest last year.
Yeah.
So she did her
Before,
first
not
gig. She
last
played
year, the year before.
Elfest 2019. She played, and she
Wow.
was her first big gig. The women in the room were
Greatest show,
amazing.
incredible.
I bet.
Anyway, enough about Martha.
Well,
Let's take.
You know what? I think it's great though, just to talk about Martha for another second, that she has the influence she has from you, because like I grew up in a music family, a very music oriented family, but no one did it professionally.
Right.
So I never really had that, the next step kind of mentality. In fact, my mom had a friend who was the girl in the band of the day back in the day. And it pretty much like she had a very messed up life because of what happened to her being the girl in the band. So I remember being a kid And my grandmother taught me ukulele and always wanting to sing, you know, for whoever came over. And my mom saying, I don't want that life for her because of what happened to her friend.
Right.
And so it was never, it was like something, it was really encouraged. Music is a beautiful thing. And that we all had to learn piano, and but it was like not to make it your career. Like that's not, so I think it's great that she sees that influence from you, that you can do this, you can try, because the younger you start, as we all know, the better it is and the easier it is. So, you know, my mom didn't look at it that way, but my grandparents did. And I remember my grandmother saying, it's in her blood. It's something she has to do. So they got it, you know, but I think it's great that you are writing with her and encouraging her and letting her see, even she can go to school, still go to school and have a career in production. And that makes it so much better when you write, if you know all facets of that. So that's awesome. Great. Kudos to you girls for doing that and bringing it into the next generation.
Her sound is really different from yours, though. Like, I know, you know, you're the biggest influences, but you know, your sounds are so different. So that's really cool. It's like she's not in any way, shape, or form copying you.
No, not at all.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
She records herself. She does her own harmonies, records it on GarageBand on the computer. She's got a microphone. She just does it all up in a bedroom.
Wow, that's great. That's awesome.
And going back to that about the career aspect of it, they had the career, you know, the standard careers interview at school, and the careers officer come in. I don't know whether you have it in the States, but you know, when you're getting to kind of year 10 and 11, the careers officer come in and you all go in and you see them, and it's like, what are you going to do with your life? And they go, I'm going to be an accountant. And they go, okay, right, you can go now. So Martha came in and he said, what are you going to do? She was like, I'm going to be a singer-songwriter. And he was like, fantastic. And she was one of the ones.
Cool.
Yeah. And he was like, that's brilliant. And she was one of the ones that they pulled back in for the second interview because he said it was fantastic. And he's like, you've got to follow your dream. Go for it.
Right.
And I was like, how refreshing that that's happened. You know, back in the day, we'd be like, no, you need to go and be a nurse.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. That's
brilliant. But
I think that was the situation with my mom and her friend, because back in those days, you know, women were not looked upon as go out and do your own thing. Let that be your own band. What it taught me was I never wanted to be the girl in the band. So it always was my band. I never was in someone else's band for that reason. So that meant I had to schlep the PA and, you know, book all the gigs and stuff. But it's worth it to do that in the end, because you have that, you know, that sense of that place of power where you can make the decision. So that's great with what you're doing with Martha. And how do you do that with 5 women in the band? Do you split the chores, not the word I'm looking at, not the jobs?
Who carries the
jobs?
So Danielle's really great at the whole kind of communication side of things. So people will get in touch on our Facebook page, or they'll drop us an email or text, whatever. And she's really good at the whole kind of, you know, establishing. What do you say? And Man kind of plants a seed, and then Danielle does the whole puts the meat on the bones kind of thing. And talk about fees and dates and blah blah blah. You're also quite good at that. You are good at that. I generally don't do a fat lot because I'm the singer in a band, so I just kind of sit and be a diva. Ruth does nothing.
Sometimes you carry a mic stand.
Occasionally carry a mic stand.
Singers get to be the divas. Why is that?
It just is, JD. You know this. Come on, it's brilliant.
I know.
And then Karen has to do most of the dog work, carrying huge amounts of drums and everything everywhere. But we all do mucking.
Oh, you all do the booking, yeah. That's great.
But Ruth is Ruth.
Ruth generally doesn't do a fat lot, but we adore her.
Can we just talk for a second really quick? We don't have to make an issue out of it, but the pre-gig poop.
Oh yeah. You don't so much pre-gig poop
so
anymore.
Much anymore.
Karen still definitely is in the pre-gig poop zone.
What is that?
Ruth will probably cry.
The nerves get to them, and they take a shit before.
JD, do you get nervous before gigs?
I don't get nervous about the music per se. I get nervous about, I just hope everything works with the sound, because a lot of times, no matter how great your sound check goes, you get out there and something isn't working for some reason, you know, the tuner isn't working, or where's the mic or something. So I would say, yeah, because people have asked me if I get nervous, and it's mostly part of it, you know, and then once you know everything's working, I don't know. How about you girls?
But it's on that, it's frustrating, isn't it, that you've worked hard, you've rehearsed hard, you know, you've got it absolutely fine-tuned, you've nailed the rehearsals, you're feeling good about it, and then the sound can be absolutely a bag of old bones on the day, and it's just like, oh, so deflating. But yeah, we you know, I don't get nervous. I've never really been nervous about gigging.
I'm all right about, after about, say if we do a 7-song set or an 8-song set, by about song 4, I'm starting to settle in. And then it's like, okay, we're over the peak of the hill now. Unless
are you less nervous when it's just you two doing a gig, or are you more nervous when it's just you two, like doing an like when we went to see Horse and you guys played, it was just you two?
Yeah, your nerves just generally are there, aren't they?
I get nervous about
generally waking up in the morning.
Do you play mostly original music when you play shows, or do you do covers and fit in original?
Depends what the show is, I guess. I think lately we've done a fair few covers of things.
We do a couple of covers, don't we, in the set? So it is mostly originals, though.
It is mostly originals, and I think the covers that we do are covers that we kind of taken and made our own a little bit, and they're covers that people request us to do. But we don't generally do. We've done a couple of weddings, not weddings. Did we do a wedding?
No, we were due to do a couple.
Yeah. And they sort of asked us to do a number of songs, but yeah, generally our own stuff.
That's nice. That it's a little harder here, I think, to do that, unless you're in a venue that is known for a listening room for original music.
Right.
You know, to sell a show, you kind of need to, and you know, I'm not a tribute band in any way, but we kind of do almost like a tribute to decades. So we're going to be doing a 70s show in April, in May 1st. That's going to be just fun stuff from the 70s, which I love, but I'd love to do a whole show of originals, and I get to do that in, you know, certain other situations, but not like a whole show of it. So I guess, is it different in England, or is original music more welcomed, more sought after?
Absolutely.
I would say,
that's great.
Yeah, and it is when you go to, you know, we go and see some gigs, you know, and it's literally silent. You know, you walk in, you're there to hear their music. You don't want to hear covers. You know, you want to go and hear their stuff. Yeah, absolutely. There's a band called the Sea of Bees, who are from Sacramento, California. This Jules is predominantly Sea of Bees. It's her, isn't it? But when you go and see her, she does one cover. Leaving on a Jet Plane is a cover that she does. But apart from that, it's just her own original music, isn't it? And you just get lost in it. You don't want to hear anybody else's. You just want to sit and listen to her, you know. And so many other musicians that play. So, what's her name? The Wall. Anne Mitchell.
Oh yeah, she was great.
Who it was just mesmerizing. But yeah.
Wow.
I think if you're writing the songs, you want to get your music out there, don't you?
You do.
Yeah.
You definitely do. And it's like, if I play, you know, a festival, I'll do my original music. But when I'm playing in a venue where we're selling tickets, it depends. Like I said, I should say it's in Florida, South Florida, you really kind of have to put those covers in there somewhere. But if you go to Nashville, that's a whole different story. Like there are places, and I'm sure New York City and different places here where you need to have your originals. Otherwise, people aren't coming to your covers like you said, you know. So it depends on where you are here.
Yeah.
You know, Austin.
We'd love to go to Nashville.
So cool.
It'd be amazing.
So cool.
Yeah,
you
girls,
cool.
they love you in Nashville.
It'd be amazing.
Get the Bluebird.
Yeah,
that's the dream.
I couldn't believe I got to play there when I played there. Like
that's amazing.
I was on the roster, that the girl that booked me there actually got me in because I never auditioned. And I don't know if you know the process, but used to be you had to audition. It's different now. A lot of it's online, but used to be you had to go there and audition in front of, you got like a minute or less to audition in front of a few people. And every single time you play there, you get scored to be invited back. So
Really?
I didn't know that the first time I played there. I was so glad I didn't know that the first time, but that's the only time I was nervous was, playing there. But I went the night before to make sure it was really true because I couldn't believe she actually got me in the Bluebird. So, when this pandemic thing quiets down here, I'm probably going to go back there and play again because I went 5 or 6 times.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I played there 5 or 6 times, and the first 4 times it was before the show Nashville came out. Do you get that in England?
Yeah, love it.
Nashville? So it was before that. After that show, there was a line around the entire shopping center where the Bluebird is, and they had to cut people off, because it's a little place.
Yeah.
Well, our drummer went, Karen went, so she went when we were over in Florida last time in 2018 it was. They took a road trip and sort of did Nashville in their road trip. And they went to the Bluebirds and they said they were queuing outside to get in, and they went in. They were there for 2 hours, weren't they? But it was literally back, musician after musician after me. Yeah. Do you remember? Because they said it was just really quick, loads of people coming in and playing. And but they said it was one of the coldest nights, and they'd had to queue outside in the freezing cold to get in.
Yeah, it's crazy. That show made it so much more popular than it already was. So did you ever have anyone cover your song? Did you ever have anyone say, we want to do an EEK song our own way?
My lesson, Harry.
Yeah.
I used to teach this lad called Harry, and he went on to music school and stuff. And then he got in touch and he said he wanted to do a cover of Start Again.
Nice.
That's brilliant. That's amazing. So that's the only one I know of. But
that's a great feeling, isn't it?
That's really cool.
I think Delano wanted to do a sort of remix.
That was.
It was more of a remix versions of songs that another friend wanted to do, but no one's ever really kind of grabbed anything and said, "Can we cover it?" It'd be amazing if they did. Apart from Martha. Martha sings them all the time. We can cover them.
I had a girl that I went to New Orleans with to a conference. Another artist down here in Miami. Take one of my songs and sing it in Spanish, which was really cool. Wow. So when we went to the music conference, it was for songwriters. 3 of us went to New Orleans. She had got me up on stage when she sang that song in Spanish, and I just played it regular, normal, and she sang it in Spanish, and she changed the words completely, though, what the meaning of the song was.
Right.
The meaning of the song is unconditional love, and you love me anyway, even though I keep making the same mistake. And I originally even wrote it as a Christian rock song, but it could also be taken for any relationship. Well, she turned it into a sexy lyrics, which I didn't know exactly what she was singing because it was all in Spanish, but she told me, just trust me, I made it sexy. I'm like, okay, whatever you want to do with your lyrics in Spanish,
Can't argue with a Latina.
So I couldn't, the Latina is always going to make it sexy, right? So anyway, yeah, but that's a good feeling when someone likes your music to cover your stuff. So
my favorite cover that you do.
9 to 5.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear that. I haven't heard that. Did you have that up on?
Well, it just so happens that we could play it for you if you want us to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay. Do you want us to play it now?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to sing in English though, not Spanish. Yeah.
You're not going to make it sexy.
Cinco
He's at 9 to 5.
Cinco Mayo.
I'm going to have to hold this up here so you can see us.
You're going to it'll progressively get more
It'll be like this.
Lactic acid is burning. Right then.
Go on then.
Ready? Okay, so.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. of bed and stumble to the kitchen. Pour myself a cup of ambition. Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping. And out on the street, the traffic starts jumping with folks like me. On a job from 9 to 5. Tumble out of bed and stumble to the kitchen. Pour myself a cup of ambition. Yawn and stretch, trying to come to life. Jumping in the shower and the blood starts pumping. Out on the street, the traffic starts jumping. Folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living, barely getting by. It's all taken and no giving. They just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. They let you dream just to watch them shatter, just to step on the boss man's ladder. But you got dreams he'll never take away. You're in the same boat as a lot of your friends, waiting for the day ship will come in. Tide's gonna turn and it's all gonna roll your way. Working 9 to 5 for service and devotion. You would think that I would deserve a fair promotion. It's a rich man's game, no matter what they call it. And you spend your life putting money in this pocket. 9 to 5, well, they've got you where they want you. There's a better life, and you dream about it, don't you? Wanna move ahead, but the boss won't seem to let me. I swear sometimes that man is out to get me. 9 to 5, what a way to make a living, barely getting by. It's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind. They never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it.
I like how you made that your own. That is so cool.
So
It's a little bit of Dolly Parton, you know. Bit of Dolly. We could have done vaccine, 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 vaccine.
did you see her sing it when she got her Moderna? Come on.
Yeah.
She,
Oh,
is,
dear.
she is like America's
Yeah.
angel of mercy right now. Seriously. Oh God, you guys, that's my favorite. The first time I heard that, it blew me away, man. I was like, "Woo, that is
Love it.
awesome."
Oh my God.
It's a big crowd pleaser as well. We do a cover. One of my favorite songs that we cover, that we do a version of No Woman No Cry. And it was a version that was sort of
Lee Ritenour,
Lee
wasn't it?
Ritenour,
Ritenour, and what was the guy called?
but it's the most beautiful. I mean, it sounds so different to Marley's version of it.
I heard you sing that. Did you do a parlor concert?
Yeah, we did it at Elfest in 2019, and it was beautiful at the end. Of course, you've got a sea of women in the room,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everyone was just singing. It was the most beautiful
Wow.
moment. But we did it at the Jazz Festival in Birmingham as well. We were asked to go and play with the Strictly Not Strictly Jazz Quartet, and we did No Woman No Cry with Jonathan Butler and Lee Ritenour.
Oh, cool.
Have a listen to it if you can, JD, and it's the most beautiful cover of it. And
Is that on YouTube? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
we've got a cover of it that's on YouTube. If you look at if you go to our EEK music page on YouTube, Mandy and I did a little acoustic version of it.
One in here, yeah.
But yeah, that was a really, really lovely cover.
Wow.
You guys do you do them good though. I remember when you did your when Gemma subbed in for you.
Yeah.
You did Rather Be, and it
Yeah.
sounded so good.
A little bit of clean bandit, getting with the times, you know, because we're cool.
Stay
Just
current.
because we're in our 40s and 50s does not mean we're not cool, okay?
How often does EEK play shows?
We haven't we haven't
Well, I
played.
know now, right
like
now with the
that.
pandemic. Wow.
Yeah.
We had a busy year that year. We had a few gigs planned, but we had to cancel a lot.
Yeah.
And that would have been a really busy year for us because we're not gigging all the time. It's very few and far between. Festivals, we do a few festivals throughout the summer, and then not loads and loads though,
No.
do we? And then just a few random gigs around. But if everyone's free and it's a good gig or for a good cause, like Danielle's, like she heads up the New Inclusive Church, and the church always asks us to play there. Like we do Easter, we do Christmas carols, you know, we do covers of like indescribable, I can't think of it.
Chris Tomlin.
There's some great songs, and we do so we do a lot for Dan's church as well.
Yeah, you guys didn't like so many artists, and we've got about 3 minutes left, but so many artists are trying so hard, you know, to stay afloat with the virtual gigs and everything. Mm-hmm. But with a band and in the situation like we're in with this hard lockdown, you guys can't even be in the same room together.
No.
We can't. I think the difference for us as well is, you know, we're kind of, we've got day jobs, so you know, we're not working musicians,
right?
You know, but we absolutely support, you know, all the musicians and artists.
I'm a working Karen's a working musician. She teaches drums too.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not a gigging working musician, as in you run your business and you teach. You are a working musician. That's
that's my mortgage.
Look what I started. So Mandy's a working musician and Karen's a working musician.
We've seen Karen because we're just renovating the studio at the moment. We're building walls.
Yeah, I saw that. That's like
it's going to look really sexy when it's done.
That's where we rehearse too. So that's great because we've got that already at hand. Sort of thing.
That's fantastic.
But just going back to my previous point, we've all got day jobs essentially.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the music has to fit around the day job, and it's, you know, it's coordinating 5 of us is quite a handful sometimes, and it's always 4 of us can do it, 1 can't, and rehearsals can be very tricky, particularly with music works away a lot.
But we're like Lego, so we can go out as like me, Luce and Dan.
We can do a 2-piece, a 3-piece.
Karen,
yeah,
you know, we can kind of mix and match. Yeah. So you know,
we're a mix and match band.
Yeah, like Legos. There's the sound bite right there.
Right.
Well, you guys, it's been amazing having you on. I could do this all evening, but because I'm cheap, we've got the free version. We're up.
Less than a minute left, Denise.
Really quickly, just got to speak really quickly. Really understand what we're going to say.
You want to sit? Let's sit in the red chair. Here's the address, and we're out of here. Love you. Bye bye. So no, seriously, it was phenomenal having you on. I'm thrilled that you were able to make it, man. And we have to do a get together Zoom call.
Absolutely.
We got to cash
it. It was great meeting you girls. Thank you for being on the show today.
All respect due to you, JD.
We're coming to Florida next year.
Amazing stuff.
We're coming to Florida next year.
Yay! Yes. We'll do a show together.
100%.
I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna really make this work.
Really make it work.
We can do this.
All right,
I'm going to come over to Pond when they let me in, and we'll play over there too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, love you more than American cheese.
Bye.